After this, the price definitely gotta go up. Oh! Yeah.
What you expect?
What you expect? What's going on, guys? Brandan Verrastro here. Got a very special guest with me today. New York, Brooklyn rapper, Radamiz, a.k.a. Rod, a.k.a. That's it. I don't have a nickname. Sorry. What's going on, man? How we doing?
We good, bro. It's Radamiz, you know what I mean? In this bitch. So
Rad.
we chilling, bro. Chilling. Doing well.
That's good. That's good. So congratulations on dropping your new EP, Synonyms of Strength.
Thank you, bro.
That dropped
Very much
August 28th, correct?
Yep. Last Friday. Brand new.
Excellent. Now, before we get into the project, you're a guy that kind of takes time with dropping music. You know, the first mixtape was 2012, first album was 2016, second album was 2019, and then so you put 3 or 4 years in between each project. This one you dropped right after Nothing Changes If Nothing Changes. What was you're normally a guy that takes your time. What was the difference this time?
I think well, one of the biggest reasons why my projects would take longer before, besides like just figuring out voice, besides clearances, besides it was just like ability, you know what I mean? The ability to make music on a fast level. So like from 2012 to 2016, like that period, you know, before 2012 is just, you know, like college, high school mixtape vibes. Like that was just the last one that like kind of like established me somewhat, you know what I mean? And then it was time to like just take it more serious. And you know, a lot of the times it was just spending money on studio, spending money on videos, doing like knowing what it kind of took to be more quote unquote like professional about my career and actually being able to implement it. Like I don't come from money, I don't come from a lot of relationships, you know, we really hand to hand hustle a lot of this, you know what I'm saying? Whether the look big or not, whenever it's just like it's still us, you know what I'm saying, basically. So I think sometimes it just takes a minute. And then 2016, 2019, obviously the music creation, but it's also, you know, people don't take into consideration the videos and lining up PR and making sure rollouts are all right, and you know, kind of like easing fans. Like most of the music I had for Nothing Changes was I already had within the year, you know what I mean? I already had a year, but then it's like, all right, well, let's make sure, you know, the post-production is really dope. And like, do I really love this verse? All right, let me just sit. I don't have a problem. If I got to sit on the verse for some months and go back to it and then change it, like I'll do it. So, you know, that takes a minute, and on top of like clearances and lawyers and stuff. But I mean, with this, you know, I actually made this, I believe just about every single song at least was started in like starting like mid 2019.
Okay.
While I was already releasing Nothing Changes and was on that route, you know, and come this year, like especially like earlier this year, you know, like even Christmas, like I was working on Christmas Eve and working on Peace God and Bendiciones and stuff like that. So like the music had been being created this whole time. It's not like I started in March and April and I'm ready to go in August. Like I still kind of take my time, but I think I'm just more gathered as a person. I'm more gathered creatively. I've understood what has been setbacks in the past and start alleviating some of those problems as early as possible, as opposed to just waiting until it's time to release to then start doing a lot. And yeah, man, it's just like the game of like being an artist and the knowledge that you gain along the way, and you know it's up to you to implement it. So that's why I was able to like be more swift, you know.
Yeah, because I feel like, you know, the music industry right now is kind of in like I think there's a lot more time also on artists' hands to kind of go into the studio and make some music with not really being able to do much nowadays with what's going on. But I mean, you're obviously working like a workhorse out there. So I mean, you know, the songs kind of come up. And do you feel like it was kind of just like a reminder to like your fans, like, I'm still here, so you got some new music before the album comes out?
Something like that, you know what I mean? I think the biggest thing was after Nothing Changes was kind of like already established. You know, I don't make music with the intention of I'm making music for this EP, I'm making music for this album, I'm making music and I don't intend to drop this. I try to make music that I plan on releasing. You know what I mean? So even if it doesn't, as soon as I record it, you know what I mean? It's like whatever. Like I go into it with the intention of like this is for the people, you know what I'm saying? And I think this one, because it was being made with enough, like, as the album was coming out, but then I had enough perspective from the album, because you know what I mean? I was just on rollout time, and I still had so much in me, and I'm just like, yo, like, I was able to have the kind of like the reflection that you get after you release something months in advance before it, you know what I mean? Because it had already been so long, and I just wanted to just like be peaceful, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like I look at my music, I look at my discography, I look at what I put out into the world, and I judge my space according to how much of me does it encompass. You know what I mean? And it was one of those things where I'm making songs like Brody's Roadies. I'm making songs like specific intention writing, like Gratitude is Gangsta. I'm making songs like Peace God. I'm making songs like I Am Blessed. Like, these are songs that to me don't exist in my discography. So I think within, like, for it to release within the year, for like the fan who fucks with me and understands what the path is, understands what my intentions are as an artist, and my, just the frequency of who I am, I think it was a little bit that. But for me, it was honestly like, it also felt good in the times. You know what I'm saying? It felt good. Like, if I'm going to somehow compete for this digital attention, what am I giving people? If we're stuck in the crib, if people are maybe not in such good financial positions, if people are feeling this loneliness, if people are feeling this, like, being trapped in the crib, claustrophobic, like, I get cabin fever in 2 days. You know what I'm saying? Like, like, I honestly get cabin fever every day. You know what I mean? Even if I just have to sit outside and go to the deli and spend $1, like, you know what I mean? So it was also kind of like, it wasn't a reflection of the times, because most of it was being made last year, but also for the times, I felt it was also on top of that appropriate, because that's kind of like how I was moving anyway. I know I wanted to just like give a different type of energy to my discography and my songs.
Okay, all right,
Yeah.
all right, cool. So, Synonyms of Strength. Now, I kind of took this title as like two ways, as synonyms of strength, meaning like different types of strength in terms of inspiration or physical strength or whatever, or synonyms of strength being like not like super. Okay, so the one was synonyms of strength of like different ways to be strong, and then the other one was like different ways of like how to be strong. Like what, like where did you get the title from? Because the album, or the EP, when you listen to it as a whole, it's very soothing, it's very relaxed, it's very almost inspirational, with songs like I Am Blessed, I Am Alive, I'm Amazing, all that stuff. So talk about the creation of this EP.
Yeah, man, I think you nailed it. For me, it was like different ways that strength can be displayed, and the different ways that strength looks. You know what I'm saying? Like, for me,
yes,
like, it's like, because strength isn't just like merely capital power. It's not a physical power. Obviously, it's not. To me, I look at it like your strength is the sense of self. That's the biggest form of strength, first and foremost. You know what I mean? Because through that, guys, you can acquire material things, physical things, whatever. And then it bleeds into like influence, and then you have the strength of mind, your strength in your perspective, the strength in what's important to you, and how much that doesn't budge. So like, when I'm writing lines like, you know what I'm saying, I took all the evil of my homies, like, it's like that's like my strength in faith. You know what I mean? That's my strength in like good. Like, that's my goodness being tested. That's my, like, how much do I not waver from my path, and like what. Because, we all influence the people that we're around. What, like, all of your choices affect your homies. All of your life decisions affect your family. They affect your friends. They affect your loved ones. Like, your diet, your sense of style, your music taste, everything. You know what I'm saying? And definitely things like your morals, definitely things like what you hold dear to your heart. You know what I'm saying? That's going to influence the people around you. And it's also just like the place I'm at in my life. You know what I mean? Like, I'm in my 20s, but I'm in my later 20s as opposed to my early ones. So you have these feelings of like, there's maturation in my life now. You know what I'm saying? Where before, to succeed in hip hop, to succeed in music, and entertainment, period, it was much more, it was a lot more like fallacies. It was much more like clout based to whatever that extent was. You know, I grew up in like the blog era, I guess, you know what I mean? I
Right.
experienced the whole 90s shit, but like when I'm like pursuing it, so it was like Two Dope Boys was the highlight, or a Pigeons and Planes article,
Yeah.
or like if
Right.
Complex posted you, oh shit, like that, you could really blow up posting on Complex. And you know, where I'm at now, I'm like, yo, like I have strength in my I'm finding strength and certainty in my decisions when it comes to music and the intention of it. And like and it's just like like whatever the rewards are, whatever the response is, whatever the claim is, I want it to be doing what I love. So I'm stronger in what I stand for. You know what I
Right.
mean? I'm budging way less. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like there is no reaching. Like I don't give a fuck if it is turned up. Like you can hear it in my voice. Like it's the
Yeah.
same rad. You know what I mean? And I'm finding strength in loving myself. You know what I'm saying? I'm finding strength in I represent what I represent, even if, you know, my peers, where I'm from, what my sound is reminiscent of, all of that shit, like even the compliments, I'm not even attached to them. You know what I'm saying? It's like, because I have to focus on what my evolution is and
Right.
what the fuck I stand for. So whatever rewards I get, I know I can get it for actually being me, as opposed to regurgitating what it looks like I'm supposed to be doing. So it's a lot, man, you know. And then SOS, you know, it's the SOS, like the synonyms of strength is the SOS. So like that's like the call for help is like it's actually inward. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
actually like it actually all comes from you. And I think, yeah, bro, I wanted it, and I wanted to feel sexy though still. Like it's like loving yourself isn't corny, you know what I mean? Like being good
Right.
to your family isn't cheesy. Like, you know what I mean? I think we have a lot of that exists in the internet, and also just the display. Like for me, I'm terrible on Twitter. I don't know how to like tweet and be cool. You know what I'm saying? But in real life, man, like I know how I move. You know what I'm saying? I get fresh.
Right.
I have fun. You know what I mean? Like I like driving fast. I like getting on four-wheelers. I like, you know what I mean? Cooling,
Yeah.
but like let me
Yeah.
put that energy into the energy of that into the music. You know what I'm saying? Not like I'm the antithesis of y'all, like judge, like nah, like. So I don't know. The SOS project, yeah, man. I feel like that's just what I wanted it to come with, and kind of, yeah, like what you said is what it encapsulates for sure. But it's really a lot of like where I'm at in my life right now, and what I want to make sure I'm like the footprints I'm planting as I move forward. You know, it's a long-winded answer, but it's a lot. You know.
No, because that's exactly what I wanted you to cover. Because I was about to actually bring up the taking all the evil out of my homies line in the beginning,
Yeah.
in the first song. Like that's like a very powerful statement in like how much positivity you want to bring to the world and how much like change you want to bring into the world. And
Yeah.
I see myself sometimes kind of wanting to do the same thing. So like I
Yeah.
personally understand the message behind it. Now you worked on Gratitude is Gangsta with the producer from TDE. What was his name? I forgot his name. Tay-Beast. What was it like working with him? Because you worked with Ab Soul before. You've opened for Kendrick Lamar. So what?
Yeah.
Kind of just like are they all kind of moved the same way almost, like very diligently?
I mean, every interaction has been its own separate experience. For me and Tay, like, you know, we got linked up by email. Like my music got sent out to him. They like Travis, shout out to Travis, he put that together, but then he like fucked with the music. He didn't even respond to the songs that they sent him. I think they sent him like 2, 3, and then he was like, nah, I fuck with this. Meaning he went, checked it out, and actually checked out on his own. He was like, nah, wait, hold on, what's this, you know? And then, you know, we linked up when I got out to LA. This is November after the project was out. I was doing like just press and stuff with the homies, and shout out to Nick, Truth Studios. It was a good vibe. He picked that spot also. And we just like, you know, he also hit me with the, yo, my bad. Like he ran a little bit late. He was like, my bad, I was with Kendrick just now. I'm like, yeah, I'm a body this session. You know what I'm saying? You know about the, you know what I mean? But that it was dope. You know, I think he came in, he started playing like a bunch of like, I think the generic way to just feel the room is like just play some turn up shit. So he played some turn up shit. I was like, bro, like this is not what I want from you. Because I'm familiar with his work, you know what I'm saying? I'm familiar with what he's done with Kendrick, Ab Soul, everybody, like the whole TDE camp and outside production, like Vic Mensa and all that shit. So I know he has that emotion in his shit, and you know we started just chopping it up for a bit. pulled up a beat, and I dropped a little video of it of the session on YouTube, but the beat, how it ended up is not how it started. You know what I'm saying? We really were just in there and just guiding the record together. And when I was in LA, I laid down like the hook and the first verse just as you hear it. And when I got back to New York, I ended up doing the second verse and like doing the outro stuff, and then he did a bunch of post production. But the homie, you know what I'm saying? Very good energy, cool. Like honestly, I was surprised by it. You know what I mean? Because this is somebody who has a whole lot of accolades, and I'm still, I'm myself, but in the eyes of like the industry, I'm still gaining my name, and I think he was very respectable to the craft, and bigging me up in the text throughout. Like it wasn't one of those like just send the beat. You don't hear somebody until you pay them, and they never promoted either. It was like he was fucking with what we were doing, so it was really dope, really dope.
Yeah, I feel
and
like
then that type of song, you know what I mean? Like wildin'.
Yeah, no, especially with like a TDE kind of group, like I feel like the vibe is always genuine. It's always authentic. Like you're never gonna just go in there and just make a song and just be like a couple hour session and be over with. Like they're gonna work with you diligently. Now, talk about the message behind it too, because Gratitude is Gangsta. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that not a lot of rappers preach, I guess, in a way. Like what was your message behind that?
Yeah, man, I think we need to just be realer about what things are in actual life. You know what I'm saying? Like, what are your priorities? What is at the top of your list of like things that one needs to actually hone? You know what I'm saying? It's like, I remember like when you're chasing your dream and you're starting out, you usually find out there's usually a list. And like for me being an artist, right, there was a list of like the top 10 things that would make me the happiest. And they normally ranked in order of most difficult to least. And I had to at some point be like, I can't just make myself happy with list numbers 4 through 10. 1, 2, 3 are the hardest ones, but they're the ones that are going to make me the most happy in the end. So those are the ones I have to focus on. Same things with like tasks on a day, you can rank it a 10. Number 1 is usually the most important thing. And number 10 is good. Number 9 is good. Like it's fire. Like, but number 1, 2, and 3, you need to get these done for everything. And for me, it's like, I'm also of the vein of, like for me, I make music for 12-year-olds, bro. You know what I'm saying? For me, I make music for 11-year-olds, for 10-year-olds, for 9-year-olds, for a 7th grader, 8th grader, 9th graders, like preteen, high school, early college, like that's who I have in mind when I write. You know what I mean? So because I was in 6th grade listening to Reasonable Doubt. You know what I'm saying? I was memorizing Biggie and Eminem and Nas and all of these artists, at a very young age. And I'm very keen to just like, yo, this is information I'm passing down. So like, especially when you meet real gangsters, you know what I'm saying? Like gangsters don't mean violent. Gangsters doesn't mean bully. Being a gangster doesn't mean you're a thief. You pollute the streets that you're on. Like gangsters like take care of the community. Like being a gangster is like, in the face of danger, I'm responsible for my family. In the face of adversity, I stick to my morals and I ride with who I am as a person. You know what I'm saying? In the face of my enemy, I speak to you like a man first before I judge your strength. You know what I'm saying? So like for me, that's what being a gangster really is. Now, if you're talking just like street, okay. If you're talking like, you know what I mean? Violent. If you're talking like rowdy, like, oh, these are all those things. Like a gangster to me, it's a lot more qualities. If you look at even the most OG of OGs, let's say in the gangbanging sector, like they're normally the most calm, the most pensive, treat people well, treat people with respect, hold their morals. You understand what I'm saying? So like for me, let's broaden what this term is and let's bring into it things that are actual attributes to it. You know what I mean? And it's like gratitude is gangster. Like word, being grateful for your day, being grateful for being able to take another breath today, being grateful that the car missed you, being grateful that you're able to reflect on your pain and actually do something about it. Be grateful that you remember what it was to be broke. So now you have a little bit more money. So now you treat that money a little bit more responsible than you would have before the experience. like gratitude. You know what I mean? Like so for me, and you know, people, and it's not such a, like, I'm not ready to write a book on it. You know what I mean? But it was one of those things where I know that that's an interesting set of words to put next to each other. That's an interesting energy. Gratitude is gangster. Oh, okay. You know what I'm saying? Forgiveness is gangster. That's what I'm writing about in the song. Forgiveness is gangster. Like being grateful for the hardships you've been through in life because they've made you who you are today is gangster. Like, so it's like, yeah, man, that's just the motive I was on that record, you know?
Yeah, because I feel like there's like the two sides of like what you were explaining of like one being gangster, like how you're saying it, gratitude, forgiveness, and, you know, taking care of what you need to take care of is gangster. And the other side is like you're listening to some other dudes that have a different definition of it. So it's kind of interesting to hear that other side of that. And you go through the whole album, and it's kind of the same vibe, the same message, the same meaning. So it's like, it's really dope to hear that in order like that almost. It is really, it's awesome. Now, the one song, and I'm going to completely mess up the way to say it, and you probably know.
Good. I can help you.
Bendiciones?
Oh, bendiciones. Yeah, you did it right, bro.
Wow, I cannot believe that. So there was a line that I heard, and I have to ask you, and it was one where it was like, I'd rather you pretend to be woke than to sell coke. Pretend to sell coke, or was it just sell coke? Okay. Now,
number one rapper not pretending to be a narcos. I'd rather you pretend to be woke than pretend to sell coke. Fact.
Yeah. Okay. So I want to ask about that because there is kind of a wave now of like coke rappers, like in the, you know, and you know who I'm talking about. So I'm kind of curious as to like if you feel like that music is genuine, if it's really, I mean, like, do you like it? Like, what was the meaning behind that line in terms of?
Well,
like,
you know what I'm saying. I think that one, people, authenticity is what I'm attracted to. You know what I'm saying? So I like music that feels like that person. You know what I'm saying? Like I can enjoy a Playboi Carti and a Lil Uzi because I believe that is the lifestyle it is. You know what I'm saying? That is the lifestyle they live. That is what inspires them. That is what moves them. You know what I'm saying? If I'm bumping Griselda, Boldy James, fucking Rock Marcy, Freddie Gibbs, like I love it because you can feel comes with real experiences, real perspective. Like I'm not here to fact check anybody's life and go with it, put it according to every single bar, but I know that the lifestyle being spoken about has real life. There's real life facts behind these things. There are real people behind these incidents. There are real events that have occurred behind the scenes or in front of the scenes that validate this person's claims. But at the end of the day, you can tell it's pure. For me, it's like, like the line is not so much calling out people pretending to sell drugs to like have like a dangerous persona in their music, like to each his own. For me, it's more so like, it's like I've seen people also, it's like I'd rather you pretend to be like literally what the line says, like I'd rather you pretend to be woke than pretend to sell coke like on wax. I'd rather you pretend I like if it's like when people used to pretend to be enlightened, like you remember that whole like pro era scene, like you had a lot of fans like following it, like yo, yeah, my third eye's open. Like whether it is or not, at least you're pretending to be something good.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
As
No, I get it.
like West Side Gun comes out and like, oh no, like they all went to jail. This shit is facts. But now they come out and then you got a whole bunch of like, yeah, no, I did. It's just like, yo, that's why Benny the Butcher's so good, because Benny's like, yo, I ain't never say I was the biggest drug dealer. I ain't never, like he just said it on an interview with No Jumper, like yo, I'm telling you just the specific, because y'all, it sounds like y'all talking the same talk, but I know y'all not. You know what I mean? It's like, because this is the real life. This is the consequences. This is what happens, you know? So it's like, for me, like, if you're going to pretend to be something, at least, like, pretend to be good on wax, be like, because just because somebody else's life is being celebrated by numbers and Jay-Z cosigns and shit like that doesn't mean you have to ride that same wave. Like, I believe in being an individual. You know what I mean? And for me, I don't need you to to rap about the same things I'm rapping about to relate to you. I'm relating to the fact that your life is on display and your real life and events are on display. But it was more so that, you know what I'm saying? I'd rather you, like, yo, yeah, your third eye's open, y'all. Like, I fuck with that more than pretending like, because, you know, that's how we got all misled, B. We got all, like, the 2000s and the 90s. Like, you had everybody thought every rapper was rich. All the whips were owned, you know what I'm saying? MTV Cribs was real. Fucking the chains was owned. Like, it's like, yo, fuck all of that. You know what I mean? Like, be you. You know what I'm saying? Be you. Whether the image works for you or not, you know what I'm saying? Maybe people sometimes do just like to pretend, and sometimes pretending is, you know what I'm saying, faking it till you making it. But I believe in like manifestation as opposed to like, you know, like buffoonery. So I don't know.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think some artists get, you know, carried away with the entertainment factor in it instead of the making music factor.
Yeah,
so,
like, you sold coke for 2 weeks, bro, and you were stressed on the block, but now this is funding your discography, every other song for 5 years. Like, it's one of those things where it's like, man, like I do it like out of tough love. You understand? Don't get it twisted. Like, I'm not out here to, like, the song is called Bendiciones. The song is called Blessings. In Spanish, I'm saying I gave back what wasn't mine, and I'm thankful for what I have. I am no longer a thug. You know what I mean? That's the gist of what I'm saying. And it's one of those things where it's like, I perpetuated to a certain extent in the past too, when I used to battle rap and, like, you know what I'm saying? Like pretend, like, you just, like, even if it's entertainment, like, because there's a difference between entertainment and music and being competitive with your bars and actually and coming through with the persona of actually inflicting pain and murdering somebody's whole family. And, like, it's just like, yo, come on. You know what I'm saying? And I've had to learn that too, to hone. And like I said, be as transparent as possible with who I am when I get out that booth, and making sure when you press play, that's exactly who you meet. You know what I'm saying? So.
Right. Okay. All right, cool. I like that. Now, you also had a Kota the Fried feature on Goya, and it's just you two going, you know, one verse after
back and forth,
back and forth with the bars, man. I mean, how was that studio session? Because he's someone that I think is very slept on in music right now. How did that happen, and what were your thoughts on that song and him and everything like that?
Well, you know, I've known Kota since, I want to say 2012, something like that. Okay. Right after he, like, because he used to rap and then put it on pause and then started just working on his videos. So he directed a bunch of my old music videos, like 100,000, New York Don't Love Me, a couple, I believe 1 or 2 other more. But then we have a bunch of interviews and just content. I've done shows for Flight Boys before. You know what I'm saying? It's a relationship that has been started. And then when he got back into the music and he started releasing and started getting more traction, like, I was one of, like, the first, I forgot what the name of the song is that we have. Sandcastles. We have, like, the song, it's on Spotify, it's on SoundCloud somewhere. But, you know, then we started working on music around the time where he started, like, getting a lot more steam. And then obviously the shit took off, thank God. You know what I'm saying? Like, I saw his whole rise. And I think with that song, it was just another thing on the list of us coexisting in each other's lives creatively. You know what I'm saying? Whether it was like early support at shows, interviews, music videos, SoundCloud songs, like whatever. You know what I'm saying? And now like he's on his EP. It's like, it's actually the difference is just that he has 2.7 million monthly Spotify listeners now. So it's like, you know, things are more blown up. But I think what I've always, like, just been attached to, and specifically, obviously, this project, he's the only rap feature on it. And I think what he represents is a lot of what my messaging is on the project, which is just loving yourself. Like, this is who I am. Like, I disagree with a lot of the things he says and believes, you know what I'm saying? Like, he does with mine. And that's how it was. Because I remember for that song, I, like, went to his apartment and I laid down, like, the rough version of the verse. Like, it was pretty much the same, but it was like the beginning and the end were identical, but the middle I, like, ended up making to fit a little bit more, like, on topic for the song. But even on that session, like, playing them the new music and us just talking about, you know, the industry and family and priorities and all that shit. And I think he's an artist that represents that in his aura and his work. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, you're gonna listen to, you know, when you hear Kota speak, it's going to be about what he believes and what he thinks is good and just the message that he wants to promote. He's very conscious of that. So I think it was like perfect to put him on that kind of joint. And that's basically what we're doing. You know what I'm saying? Like he's talking about his son and his family and his perspective on business. And then for me, it's just like, you know, loving of the past and chase happiness, not a dollar. But if you happen to get rich along the way, congratulations. Like, you know, same thing.
Yeah.
Like I want to get rich too. I want to be successful as well. You know, I'm on my path already, but I don't want to do it sacrificing what I know is like the most essential to living a full happy life. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah. Absolutely. I mean, you guys definitely have an insane chemistry together. That I mean, it's pretty much identical almost.
He was dope.
Yeah, you guys definitely have that same, not same sound. I would say same sound a little bit as well, but definitely like a same vibe to you guys. For sure. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. Now, there's one song. My favorite song is "I'm Blessed, I'm Alive, I'm Amazing." The chorus sticks in my head constantly right now. Like it's in my head right now as we're interviewing. Like, was there a song on here that really like sticks out to you as like the song that like all your fans fuck with, or like, you know, even with you in a way where it's like it leads, like it lands an impression on you and your fans?
Man, I think that's the one, you know, and it's funny because when I had that song, one, I love like just the way I wrote the song, you know what I'm saying? Like the pre-chorus, post-chorus rhymes with the amazing, like, you know what I'm saying? And just like Ben Lusher, shout out my boy Ben Lusher, you know, he was part of this group Third Story, but they're like all like, you know, killing it on their own. When he came through with the vocals, you know what I'm saying? My man Crooklyn produced that. He's been sending me beats for fucking 3 years. And we have mad songs and songs to still make. But I remember when I heard that one, I was just like, yo, this is the one, bro. Like, this feels like I need to take this serious. You know what I mean? And write it serious. And when I did my interview with DJ Booth, like, the first interview about the project, when she wrote and Donna wrote like, yo, this is the standout song, I got happy. I was like, oh, thank God. I thought people were going to sleep on this. You know what I'm saying? Like, I thought everybody would just run to the Goya feature, which is fine because it's Kota, I get it. Or people would just like, you know, stick to the singles, which is like possible as well. But like with I Am Blessed, I'm like so happy that it's like, that seems to be the most impressionable song, like at least heaviest impressionable song on the project. Yeah. And for me, that was one of the ones that's probably to me the center song. You know, like when I made I Am Blessed and I decided to make a project that would be shorter. I didn't know it would be 7 songs at first, but I knew when I was going to make this EP that it was going to be based around I Am Blessed, I'm Alive, I'm Amazing. That's the centerpiece to me. You know what I'm saying? That reflects just like my perspective on like the past and, you know, my like, obviously my friends who have passed, but then like women, but then like grounded in the present, and then, you know, being proud of your decisions, and, you know, Dominican, but I got love for all my Haitians. Like, it's just, you know what I'm saying? It's a lot. It's a lot in that song that I feel like I was able to accomplish. And yeah, man, I think that one has been, it makes me really happy that people are enjoying it, you know?
Yeah, because
it's not always the case. People like dark music. You know what I'm saying? People like dark music, or like a lot of the times like ego boasting, or like self-destructive, or like just turned, or like you know what I mean? And it's like, damn, like y'all fucking with the just, yo, I'm chilling. I want you to just clean your house in peace music. You know what I mean? Like, so I love that.
No, I think it's like a song that kind of like clears your mind almost, where it's like, it's just like, out of all the bullshit that's happening, like you're just happy that, you know, you're doing what you're doing. And that landed to me the most out of any song right on this EP. Like especially the hook. That hook is still stuck in my head. It'll be stuck in my head for another week now. And shout out to Donna as well, because she's awesome. So now New York, the sound of New York rap is a little different from what kind of music you're making. I mean, you're hearing guys like Pop Smoke, Chef G, Sleepy Hollow, all fire. And I feel like there's still those kind of guys like you out there that, you know, make this type of sound. But did you ever feel like it was going in a direction that like, where it was like, you kind of almost had to like leave New York almost? Like I'm trying to think of a way to phrase this, because it's like, it's complete, like I said, like the Chef G's and the Pop Smokes, rest in peace, like they're making like, you know, the drill New York sound type of shit now, and it's like, do you ever feel like you should be on that wave, or is it like this is what I'm doing?
No, never in my life. But I think that they represent, you know, to outsiders, to people who are not from New York, that are not familiar with the actual neighborhoods, with like they literally are New York. You know what I'm saying? There is no, like, I understand that there's an adaptation, obviously, of like Chicago and UK sound in the production. And, you know, granted, a lot of the producers are in the UK, you know what I'm saying? So, but Chef G is who you see walking in the streets. Like Pop Smoke is who you see at the parties. Like Sleepy Hollow, Fabio, you know, everybody, Busy Banks, everybody, like, they are literally New York. You know what I'm saying? Bobby Smurda is like literally New York. Like I went to high school down, like, you know what I'm saying? Like it's just that's the epitome of New York. If anything, what they're doing, what they're lending, they're lending their hand to the expansion of the sound of New York, that people around the world can actually feel like what it's like to visit. Like when people talk about the New York sound, like they're still thinking like, you know, early 90s, Jay, Fat Joe, Ja Rule, you know what I'm saying, Mobb Deep, Wu-Tang, all this shit. It's like, yo, go to Brownsville now. You know what I'm saying? Go to Flatbush now. Go to Canarsie now. Go to Bed-Stuy now. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not sweet. You know what I mean? It's what that looks like. It's what that sounds like. Like that is what it is. And I think for me, you know, whether that's where the industry sways to as far as numbers, as far as funding and attention, and like you definitely think that in the back of your mind, but I'm never going to like put on a Crip flag now and throw up C's and you know what I'm saying, jack some shit I'm not, and the lifestyle I'm not, and like that's like I said, that's the antithesis of like who I am. Like I'm connected to the streets in my own way, but I don't need to perpetuate the same imagery, because that is not me. You know what I'm saying? And to perpetuate the imagery, we'll have to perpetuate the content. And then now if you have that imagery and that content, now you got to back that shit up in real life. And that's how a lot of motherfuckers get caught up. You know what I'm saying? So I think for me, like, my role is important. You know, whether I get the, like, I wanna change, and I wanna also further expand what that New York sound is. You know what I'm saying? Because to me, like, people compare me to like my predecessors, but I don't sound like them. I don't talk like them. I don't rap like them. My messaging isn't the same. Like my accent just is. You know what I mean? And like I can rap on a 90-something tempo beat, so it's like, oh yup, that's that shit. You know what I mean? It's like no, it's not. Like Raekwon ain't never dropped no shit like Peace God and I Am Blessed, I'm Alive, I'm Amazing. You know what I mean? Like Jay-Z ain't never make fucking, you know, it's just Jay-Z ain't never make Brody's Wodies. Like it's like for me, I'm like, of course I'm cut from that cloth, but I'm here to expand the shit too. You know what I'm saying? Right. So whether I can whether the way I present my art, or the way I present my messaging, the way I promote myself, and I'm ingrained in the city, like if that blooms into like true monetary success and just all these things, like, then that's a blessing. But more than just it being a blessing for me, I hope that it continues to open up what that New York sound is to the world. You know, like Kota is like definite. Like if you know Clinton Hill, Fort Greene area where Kota's from, he's truly a New Yorker. He's truly a Brooklyn. Like that's what that neighborhood feels like. Yeah. You know what I mean? But everybody's just used to Queensbridge. They think Queensbridge is New York, and it's like, nah, Queensbridge is Queensbridge. You know what I mean? So I think there's a lot of real work being done, and you know, hopefully it does follow with the right fans and the right people and the right life that I believe I deserve for it, because I think I'm doing what I'm doing the real work too. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just as
important. I think a lot of times people underrate like that there are people who are lyricists in New York.
Yeah,
I mean, you still have Joey Badass.
Even a lot of those artists are lyricists. They're just the content and the tempo and the intention of the song is just different. But they still they still not wasting the bar either.
Yeah.
You know?
But what I was talking about was like the people that consider them pure lyricists.
Purists,
There aren't like on the drill sound, you have like the Joey Badasses, and you have Flatbush Zombies and all that stuff. Does it get annoying almost to kind of hear like people be like, oh, this isn't, you know, this isn't hip hop, and like New York has changed, all that shit. Like, does it ever get annoying? Because I'm not even from there, and it's annoying to me. So it's like I don't know.
I think people need to just open up their minds a bit. You know what I mean? It's like how I started this question. Like, if you visit the '90s right now, like that's what it like. They are. Yes, New York has changed, and this is a reflection of the changes. You know what I'm saying? And it is what it is. Like, it's like at the end of the day, like, and it's like I said, for me, my contemporaries, like the people that I view my artistry in the light of, are like the Kendrick and the Coles and the Big Seans and the, you know what I'm saying, Jay Electronicas and the all of the, like, I don't think my shit is 90s either. I think my shit is very 2020, 2021, 2022. Yes. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, Kanye is one of my influence. Like, I'm doing post-production. I'm making sure I'm competing. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, I'm not out here fucking, I'm not trying to, you know what I mean? I'm not trying to sound like Inspector Deck, bro. Like, this is me. So it's like, I think New York has 100% changed, but I do think that it's in the best way, like I said, because it has expanded and encompasses so much more other lifestyles now. You know what I mean? Like, back if in '94 everybody was listening to Nas and that's what they were partying to, then that's what they were partying to. But right now that's not the case. But that doesn't have to be your demographic and what you play either. Like you said, like, and I posted a list, like there's so much New York artists. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have that whole Mike wave. You have like the Dreamville, like, Boss wave. You have, like you said, the Pro Era Beast Coast wave. You have the ASAP Mob wave. You have Ricky. You have Princess Nokia. You have Slater. You have 2Gs. You have J.I. You have, like, bro, like, I wrote a whole list, bro. There's a whole list on Twitter somewhere where I typed out like fucking 10 pages worth of tweets of just names. You know what I mean? Because it is so encompassing. You know what I'm saying? Like, we are so big right now. We may be the biggest we've ever been. You know what I'm saying? Right. Maybe not commercially for the, like, lyricism and the way it's respected, but I feel like as far as the vastness of our sounds, you know what I mean? And as far as like how many different pockets we exist, like, I honestly think it's something that people should celebrate more. You know what I mean? And be more aware of. Because we out here. You know what I mean? We out here.
Absolutely. I represent East Coast all the time. I'm from Scranton, PA, so you know, it's the East Coast. Even though there's no rappers.
It's East Coast. It's East Coast, man, and that's what I'm saying. Like, I was just watching, like, you know, Dave East is doing what he's doing, and then you have Cardi B also doing what she's doing, and then Nicki's jumping on this joint, and then you got my man Oswin, and then you got Kemba, and then you have. It's just like, bro, like, nah, people are lazy. That's what it is. And for me, it's like, I don't get as annoyed as I get, as I feel the lack of just, like, you know, people just need to take the time out and do their homework because they're missing out on a lot of great talent, you know, me included.
Yeah, I think a lot of people get hung up over, like, who is taking over hip hop. Like,
and shit,
like like, I think every area is kind of having, you know, a piece of the pie and, like, doing a great job, like, from the West to the Midwest to the South. Like, everyone is having a little bit to, you know, to put into hip hop. Now, you are Dominican, correct?
Yeah.
So I feel like Latinos and rap and hip hop aren't as respected, right? And I just feel like it's kind of a weird thing going on, especially with the whole Tekashi shit. Do you feel like he kind of fuck like that type of shit up, like, because he is Latino, correct? I am pretty sure he is.
Yeah, he's Mexican and Puerto Rican. I think you know what he like, it's one of those things where, I mean, I mentioned him in Gratitude as Gangsta, right? And my perspective on the take is, I was around 6ix9ine. Like, I didn't know him personally, but I know his previous rap groups. You know what I'm saying? I know friends of his to this day, and you know, we went to the same barbershop. I saw him. I know the deli he worked at. I saw the whole shit happen, right?
Yeah.
I saw, and it's what I say. My message is what I said in Gratitude is Gangsta, because everybody takes the same perspective. You know what I mean? Like, yo, think for yourself. Like, what is actually at play? Like, when you see that he was always wilding, you know what I mean? Like, he was always making viral videos. He has songs with Bodega Bams. He has songs with Pro Era. He has songs with Famous Dex and Trippy and all this shit, right?
Yeah.
It wasn't until he put on the Red Flag, you know, it was like, that's the thing that changed. Like, yeah, maybe the Gummo joint was hard, and then maybe his selection and beats got better and his curation of songs. Sure. You know what I'm saying? Sure. But firsthand witness, it wasn't until he perpetuated violence and put hits out on people's lives and threatened everybody who threatened him that his music got successful.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It wasn't until that. And then that leads to repercussions because, like I said, who you are in your messaging and who you are in the imagery is now who you have to be in real life. And that's a tough thing to keep up with. You know what I'm saying? Like when you're the person that is being, because honestly, to me, he was being bullied by a lot of people. He didn't come out the gate telling everybody to suck his dick. He came out the gate, oh, you diss me? Okay, suck my dick. He responded to it, but then that's the same thing. That's energy that you're putting out, and you're responsible for that. That's why I say I'm the hands of the pastor that's praying over Tekashi, like in Breakfast Club, and not talking about the Breakfast Club interview where it was just like, to me, that was a very, even though Charlemagne sounded like it was a bit of a joke, to me, that was a very powerful moment. It was like, it was the same thing, like present moment, nah, like fuck all of this, like for real safety. You know what I'm saying? For real, you are not untouchable. You are not impeccable. You like they're real. Like this world is based on energy, and it's a law of attraction. And what you put out does come back. And if you're vengeful in your actions, you get the return. So to me, long story short, he does not represent all Latinos, and I don't think I carry the burden of his mistakes and the way his life has panned out to this day. I think that his circumstance points to a much larger problem, which is that we are intoxicated. We like to be intoxicated with violence. We get drunk on toughness. We get drunk on death. We love it. You know what I'm saying? We love it. We love to see the person violent. We love to see the guns in the videos. We love to see static. We love to see beef. And it's just like he is a product of society's interest. You know what I'm saying? He is a product of what is monetizable. He is a product of what is commercially viable. You know what I'm saying? Because we all press play. You know what I mean? So it's like, for me, that's why I try to do as much as I can. I try to have as much percentage of my work as possible be in tune with what I believe is good, because I don't think being good doesn't sell. I just think negativity just sells so much faster. You know what I mean? And that's what I'm responsible for. You know, I'm responsible for how can I balance things out, because like you said, like there hasn't been that much of a plethora of artists that are of Latino descent and hip hop really crush waves. But then, you know, you still got Cardi B up there, you know what I'm saying, while doing her thing. You still got a lot, like you have that reggaeton movement where I feel like the Bad Bunnies and all of these artists are just like expanding, at least like making it easier. Like when you see and Anuel jump on the joint, or if you see the Bad Bunny feature, if you see the J Balvin feature, if you see the you know what I'm saying, like Karol G, whoever it is, you know what I'm saying? Like, I think it's normalizing people's eyes to accept the Latino perspective. You know what I'm saying? Rosalia doing songs with Travis Scott and James Blake. It's just like, okay, it's becoming a little bit more easier to just accept us as a general, because I don't think we have to come through the gate like, I'm Latino, shut the fuck up, fuck all of y'all, like we here to stay and we here to run shit now. It's just like, nah, like we have a perspective on hip hop and culture and art and aesthetic and messaging and our own stories. And I think that we just have a responsibility to just keep furthering it along. You know, I can only be mad at the past for so long until it's time for me to make a decision today.
Yeah, and I think one of the things that people really hung up with Tekashi is like the wrong thing about him snitching, and it's like, it's not hip hop per se, but was that?
I was surprised for real though.
Nobody.
It's just like, bro, like you, like y'all were surprised. You know what I'm saying? Like this is something like this was everyone's guidance the entire time. But he was like I said, like he was mobilized by the people around him and by the attention. Like we love compliments as human beings. We love compliments. We love attention. We love the feeling of being agreed with and applauded. And it's like, that's what y'all applauded, bro. It just is what it is. Y'all love that. If you put up videos like that and it got 0 likes and nobody spoke about it and everyone was just like, and people in this corner were like, bro, like, chill. Like, yo, we gangsta. Yes, we get it. But like, yo, relax, man. Then that would be the case, but it wasn't. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So it's just like, it's unfortunate because real people's lives are at stake. And real people's lives suffered because of it, and their families and their loved ones and their opportunities and their years. You know what I'm saying? Life is such a precious, finite thing. And now you have people that are not able to live because of all of this. So it's a much bigger topic at play, you know?
Yeah, I believe so as well. You know, it's just like I never really understood the people like caring about him snitching because like you said, like who didn't expect him to do that? It's more
Yeah,
so the shit he was doing prior to the snitching, and
yeah,
you know, the way we gave him so much attention for nothing. It was just kind of like
yeah.
it just became old at a certain point, and I don't think people really understood
Yeah,
that
and I
sort of
think I
thing.
think I don't think he I think he I also didn't think he get the perspective of like it's like entertainment, because that's the thing, he's charismatic, so it's entertaining.
Yes.
But for me, the songs that that were performing the best for him were the ones that he didn't have to be a gangster. You know what I mean? It was the joint with him and Anuel were like going crazy, like his songs with Nicki Minaj, his songs with A Boogie, like yo, just make good, like yo, just make enjoyable music, bro. You
Yeah.
don't have to like. So it's just like it's a lot. There's a lot of misfortune in that. You know what I'm saying? And you still see him like recovering in that. You know what I'm saying? Like and trying to like correct his wrongs. But you know, there's a big. I believe like God is forgiven, and I feel like you're forgiven as soon as you commit the action, because it's a clear sign of you being disconnected from what is like the total good. You know what I'm saying? If you do me wrong, right? If you steal $20 from my pocket, you are automatically forgiven, because I understand that the root of that is your need for $20. I can't be attached that I was the victim of that. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
um it's just
100%.
it's just one of those things where like hopefully he gets the resolution that he needs in his life, and can be corrective as much as possible. But there's a lot of work to do still.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Now, there were a lot of, the past couple months, the protests and riots have been, very televised, everything like
Yeah,
that. You were in New York. That's probably one of the biggest places it's been
heavy.
happening in. What were your experiences there? Because I know one of my writing buddies, Jason Buford, was out there
Hmm.
protesting and everything and rioting and all that stuff. So like, what was your like? If you were out there, what were your experiences seeing that kind of thing happen right now and during this time?
Yeah, I mean, in the times that I went out, you know what I'm saying, it was definitely for the most part peaceful. It was definitely like you saw, union shit between like protesters, and for the it's tough. It's tough, man. It's a complicated question. I think protesting is important, but it doesn't resolve fully. But then you need the image, and you need the voices, and the disruption of normalcy to like bring light to whatever it is the attention is. You know what I'm saying? But for me, I've been protesting my entire life. You know what I mean? I wrote like when a black man dies, why is it that usually only the black man cries at the end of gratitude? That's before
Yes.
all of this. And Goya is 2020. How you still a racist? We identical. Like that's before all of this. Like you know what I'm saying? Like it's like in my music, in my life, in the real world. Like I've been doing my part, you know what I'm saying, which is just like whatever platform I have, whatever messaging I have, and then in real life, you know what I'm saying, really standing up to racism, really checking motherfuckers, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like yo, wait, whoa, what did you say? Oh, you don't know your history. Oh no, that is like no, everybody isn't Chinese. Like, no, that man is Filipino. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like checking it, period. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I think it was very heavy. It was very, but it was also very needed, because we're in a time in our lives right now, especially digitally. We've never been so connected. We've never. It's always a lot of these news has been local newspapers in the past and local stations, and if it got nationwide, it normally was massively controlled by the big corporations who are in control of our media. Where now we are not the flowing out of information is not so small. You know what I mean? You can release a video on Twitter and Instagram, and we have there's a big shared pain, and a shared understanding of what's going on, and it almost feels like you're there with anybody around the world when things happen to them. And it's very interesting. You know what I mean? It's a very interesting
Yeah.
time. Like New York was on fire for sure. Like the looting was heavy. The protesting was a lot. There's a lot of good things and a lot of bad things that happen when outrages like this happen. But I think we can't be distracted in understanding that at the end of the day, it's the correction of certain laws that exist. It's the correction of the government officials and the way they practice, and but hopefully more importantly than anything else, it's a correction of the subconscious and the superconscious minds of people that are still racist and do still alienate according to class, according to skin color, according to race. And I don't think that that's going to happen protesting today, but I think if the continual march and the continual like calling out of like the adversary. You know what I'm saying? Well,
Yeah.
you know, racism is taught at the end of the day. So I think we're better now than we were in the 60s. You know what I'm saying? We're better now than we were in the 30s, the 70s, the 80s. So I think it's just let's just make sure the people who become parents now have less of that in their DNA and less of that in the DNA of their mind, you know, so that our children don't judge accordingly. And yeah.
Yeah, 100%. And I think like in my area where it's like mainly white and it's like you see these Trump signs everywhere and you see a lot of hateful, I mean, some of the signs I see just in my like area, it's like, what the fuck? Like, what is wrong with you type shit? But like, I feel the one thing that really stood out to me in what you were saying was the social media aspect of like, you could post a video and like the news cycle is not gonna, you know, you can't, you know, put a narrative or a spin on what this video is showing. And I think that's such an important thing and why people were so mad when people were posting, you know, hashtag Black Lives Matter and then just posting a black square because it was blocking out everything. Right. Like people were posting of videos and
of information,
and
yes, everything. Yep.
Yeah, and I think that's a huge thing. And social media doesn't really have too many positives at this point, at least for me. I mean, I share my stuff through social media and it gives me, you know, a little bit of happiness when people share it and whatever. But it's like, outside of that, I feel like I'm arguing with like pretty much everyone. But when this topic comes in hand and it's like, you're seeing these videos, you can't spin this shit. Like no matter what. Like I go on Facebook and that's mostly where people are, you know, being their, you know, very awful selves. And it's like, you can't spin this video. You just can't. Like not at all. So I think that was a very important thing because I never really even thought of it too much before you said it. It's like the news, I don't believe anything the news says anymore half the time.
Well, yeah, everything you have to understand, like, you know, it was like, even for me, whether I went out there or not, you have people sending me their pictures of their signs saying nothing changes if nothing changes. Like, and that's what,
that's tough.
That was their message of protest. And just one of those things where it's like the work that you do in real life, I think, is much more to me important than just those marches. Like the marches aren't the end all be all. They are just necessary because it's a gathering of people in numbers. But at the end of the day, like, you know, I can understand why people are racist. I can understand why people are prejudiced. I can understand why people are judgmental. I can't understand the violent aspect, you know what I'm saying, as much, but I honestly can too. All of it is taught. All of it is the information you receive. All of it is decisions. And if they are met with positive results by the people that are around you or negative results by the people that are around you. So like, I've been to places in the middle of America where it's like, yo, the internet isn't as good. You know what I'm saying? The people that, like, at the end of the day, who you follow is the information that you receive. So not only, like, you may, like, there are racists out there that are probably not as racist as they are, but because of on top of their limited relationships with people of other colors, you know what I'm saying, of other religions, of other wealth groups, whatever, of other places, now their lack of information is being reinforced by everyone else's lack of information. So now they're all sharing the same perspective. You know what I mean? It's why they say the medicine to ignorance is traveling. You know what I mean? It's like a lot of the times they're like, ignorance is and people who fall under the category of like not accepting someone else for whatever their facts are normally people that are not well traveled, well spoken with, well conversed with, and have embedded relationships with people who do not check out what their checklist is. You know what I'm saying? And that's all I attribute it to. It's like you just need more conversations. You just need more education. You need a diversion from your normal way of receiving information and news, and take somebody else's perspective into account. Like, see, even for me as an artist, like sometimes I sit on Apple or Spotify or YouTube or whatever, and I listen to shit I don't like. You know what I mean? Like, not because I enjoy the hurting of my ears or just but like sometimes, you know, it's just like, yo, let me get what perspective this is. Let me try to understand this. Like, I remember there was a time where I didn't understand nothing about Joy Division, and then it's like, and then for 5 months, that's all I listened to was Unknown Pleasures. You know what I'm saying? So it's like one of those things where it's just like, you know, we need more people who are willing to like be informed of things outside of their perspective. And you know, social media doesn't help in that case, because like I said, you're just going to receive whatever it is that you follow, and the algorithms are going to follow. And so the internet makes the world smaller for sure, but it actually pushes us very far away in specific cases like this, you know.
Yeah, I think the biggest problem is ignorance for a lot of people who don't want to like admit that they were
They're
wrong,
just not
or not
informed,
even
bro.
wronged.
That's it.
What was that?
It's just not informed. You
Yeah,
know what I
that
mean?
too.
Yeah, that's what it is. Like it's not like it's like ignorant is the just a general term, like lack, like missing of information and
Yes.
experience is what is missing. And it's like, that's what I'm saying. It's something that can't be changed, because you can't take everyone around the world and now assign them seats with people of different religions and classes, and let them live there for one day, 1 week, 1 year, however long it takes you to open up your mind, and then put you back into society, and then you understand there's a world bigger than yours, you know. It's
Yeah.
just like it just isn't the case, bro.
I also think it's a lack of effort to want to even get information either, because you live in this
effort
bubble.
is hard. Effort is tough, because you need it to be reinforced by real life. Like it's like if you live in a 97.8% white populated city, like fuck your effort. Like you don't even have anybody to have real conversations with. You know what I'm saying? Like who do you,
right?
Like where's the culture where's the barbecue that you're going to? Where's the other church that you're going to? You know what I'm saying? Like sometimes like effort is definitely one thing, and you know, for me, I didn't have to meet somebody of a different creed to do my research, but it definitely helps. It definitely reinforces. Like, you know, if I'm studying, let's say I'm into like Islam for a moment, but then it's like one of my roommates at NYU is like, his father is, you know what I'm saying? Like that's what his entire family is. It's easier for me to ask questions and you know, be like, have my curiosity reinforced by somebody else's fact and perspective. And we lack a lot of that. You know, this is a very big conversation, but that's just what I attribute it all to. And because I don't know, maybe I'm hopeful, but I think that we are all at our core good. You know what I mean? I think that we are all at our core good people, and we have love in us, and we have the at least the desire to be good. You know what I'm saying? The majority of us, and a lot of the times there are a lot of minute, very small, minuscule, almost invisible experiences, conversations, things that influence us, that stray us off that path. So that's me.
100%. I agree with that 100%. Now let's go into a little lighter type topic, depending on how you answer this. Now, what's your NBA team?
Right now I have no NBA team. I can't watch the team. I can't watch the NBA right now. This is kind of weird. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I think my default one is the Nets, because KD's on it, and that's the home team. But I think right now, like, it's hard to attach, bro. I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't even watch TV like that. Like I've been watching these interviews all day, bro. Like I can't even, and just reading and sitting in front of beats and working on this campaign. Unfortunately, but maybe if we talk in like 2-3 months, I'll be able to give you a better answer. You know, I'm definitely waiting for KD to come back to the Nets, though. That's what I'm on, and the Lakers look good, and you know, James Harden's out here wilding. Like, you know, I'm tapped in a bit, but I'm not as tapped in as I usually am, honestly.
All right, yeah, fair enough. I mean, I think it's tough for anyone right now to fully enjoy an NBA game, because it's like you got to take into account, like, these dudes are not with. I mean, now they're with families. Apparently, they let families in. But so, I mean, before that, it's like, damn, like they are out there by themselves, trying to just.
It's very weird. It's like live. I haven't watched any live shows either. You know what I'm saying? Live concerts, streams, and I'm just like, I know that the NBA, you know, they depend on the fans for energy and the momentum, and that's why, like, you're watching like The Last Dance. Like that's my favorite basketball team right now, the fucking '90s Bulls. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm watching Jordan. I'm watching the intricacies of, you know, these are real people at play. You know what I'm saying? I'm intrigued by, you know, Michael Jordan's ability to be present and not think about a shot that he hasn't taken as missed yet because it looks difficult. And, you know, my inspirations and and also just my attraction to sports in general. Like I'm heavily sports influenced, but not by the day-to-day games and championships themselves. I'm influenced by the personalities of people. And how much of like someone's humanity they can bring onto court. You know, that's why before we started, like, Ray Allen was one of my favorite basketball players ever, because I've never seen him break a sweat. You know what I'm saying? Like
Right.
KD is one of my favorite, and then that's why Kevin Durant is like my current favorite basketball player, because for me it's the same thing. Even though you see, it's just like you can like, for me it's just like the zen on court. You know what I'm saying? I look like certain players to me just like appear zen minded. They react fast. They change their strengths according to what is necessary to win the game. It's just like it's honestly like the spiritual and the mental practice to me that attracts me more to like sports than the actual like stats and day to day, you know. But that's just
Yeah,
me.
I could agree with that, because I think like,
Yeah.
you know, in terms of like as a basketball presence, like you look at like a, and I don't want to, I hate even using this example, but like someone like AI who, you know,
Yeah.
he never won a title or, you know, had like, you know, like all these, I mean, he did have a lot of accolades, but it wasn't like he was like
Yeah,
one of the
exactly.
LeBron James type.
His legendary status isn't accompanied by like all of these like medals and
Yeah,
trophies and shit.
exactly. It was by his impact, by his personality, by the way
Yeah.
he kind of carried a franchise, you know, for a while, and you know,
His look, you know what I'm saying, the
yes,
appearance of the NBA player, like, you know, being even more so of an individual. And yeah, bro, for sure.
yeah,
Real
yeah. So
people.
I could
Like,
see what
that's
you
what I'm
mean there.
inspired by. Yeah, that's what I'm inspired by, bro. Real people, like, and not necessarily the thing, you know. Like, rappers don't inspire me to like be a better person. Like certain people, like the people behind them. You know what I'm saying? It's like I can be a fan of a song on a surface level, but like for me, when I discover an artist, I watch 15 interviews. You know what I'm saying? If I really fuck with them, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Because now it's like, all right, now I'm fucking with you. I know who you are now. You know what I'm saying? I'm
yeah,
more in tune with who you are as a man or a woman. You know, so
100%. I agree with that 100%. Well, thank you, man, for coming on. I mean, this was a great interview, man. You gave me a lot. You know, I'm very happy we got to talk about this new EP you have out. It's
yeah,
really
bro.
good. I'm a big fan. So, you know, I'm definitely going to be checking out for you. And you know, this has been great. I appreciate you coming on, man.
Thank you, bro. Yeah, you know, we got the short art film coming. I'll probably drop that next week or something like that. We're still editing it just to keep further expanding, you know, what it is to be Radamiz as an artist. Like, you know, we dropped the accompanying book for the album and got some merch on the way
Okay.
and just like, you know, man, it takes a lot. You know what I'm saying? It takes a lot. It takes a lot more than people like to admit, I think, to be an artist, because then you look like you're uh pleading for fans and you're mad at your results and nobody supports me.
Yeah.
Why? You know what I mean? It's just like,
Yeah.
yo, it honestly does take a whole lot, you know what I'm saying, to be an artist. So like I'm appreciative of like anybody wanting to take a moment out of their day to press play. Obviously people like you, like, go, let's do an interview, you know what I'm saying? And the schedule's available to do it. And
Yeah.
it's just like, you know, because all of those things help reinforce the drive. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, my purpose is like bigger than just like responses in the real world, but those feel good too when you know you're doing what you love. So
Yeah.
thank you, bro.
100%. Absolutely, man. I'm fucking with the message. I'm fucking with everything you're doing, man. So congrats to you. And, you know, we'll keep an eye out for you for sure.
Oh yeah, man. I'm gonna keep dropping some ill shit. I'm working on a whole lot of music already, and it's already different than this shit. So it's lit.
All right. All right. Sounds good, man. Sounds good. Appreciate you coming on, man. Thanks for
All
stopping
right,
by.
peace. You enjoy the
Yep.
rest of your day, B.
Yep. You too.